Let me ask you a question. What was it that got you into the Mario franchise? The N64? Or the Nintendo Wii? Both are probable answers to this question, as these consoles contain some of the most famous Mario games of all time, like Super Mario 64 or Mario Kart Wii. However, what if I told you that I actually got introduced to Mario through a different way? Not through consoles, but rather through the internet, specifically Flash. Before I had a console or a TV, I would always play Mario games through Flash on the internet, and I think some of you can relate to this. But over time, as we got consoles, we slowly forgot about the Mario Flash games. And then Flash was terminated, so we can't even play those games anymore. So let's go on a nostalgia trip, shall we? What were the best Mario Flash games? I will rank these games based on their quality, content and originality. And it also has to be centered around the Mario franchise, so no Smash Flash 2. With that being said, let's get ranked. Starting off the list we have Luigi's Revenge Interactive. Have you ever played a game that you thought was super fun as a kid, but now that you're an adult you realize it hasn't aged well at all? Well, one of those games is Luigi's Revenge. This game and another one, Super Mario Flash version 2, have a lot of similarities. These are very short games which contain precisely 3 short levels with relatively primitive controls, a final boss that revolves around the shift button, but most importantly, an unnecessary amount of gore. In addition, they're painfully simplistic. This isn't surprising as they were made by the same guy, so why do I have this game on the list then? Well, it's simple. Partly because there aren't a lot of good Mario Flash games, but also because it could have been worse. Super Mario Flash version 2 is pretty bad, but Luigi's Revenge is actually pretty decent. It has a clean presentation and relatively harmless controls. Overall, it's simply a nice game you could play every now and then if you don't have much time on your hands. One thing I like about this game is that every level is in some way related to castles, whether it be a courtyard or a castle. It shows the developers did care about making this game, as opposed to the Super Mario Flash version 2. A simple game, but a charming one. What level theme in Mario has had the biggest downfall over the years? If you asked me, that would be the Ghost House theme. When it was first introduced in Super Mario World, Ghost Houses were kind of out of the norm levels, where instead of walking straight, you had to look for secrets to get anywhere. They were fun, short levels where you had to use your brains instead of your brash. Then the newer games completely botched it and made it normal platforming levels with trolls everywhere, but the point is, I love the OG Ghost House theme, so why not base an entire game around them? The result is Mario Ghost House, and it's okay, I guess. You have to collect all of the coins in a room for a door to the next room to appear, although some doors lead to dead ends. So in that way it's kind of more like the newer Ghost Houses, but at least the sections are fun to traverse, well, for the most part. It's an okay game overall, but it does turn out a bit frustrating in the later levels where the platforming becomes way too unforgiving. But this is one of the few games that does tackle the Mega Ghost House gimmick, and it's probably the one that does it the best. And similarly to Luigi's Revenge, what puts this game on the list is mostly just the fact that the standard for Flash games tends to be pretty low. But I like it, and as it stands now, it could have been worse. It's from this point on the list that the really good games appear. In 8th place we have Super Tario Throws. This is by far the most different Mario Flash game from any other on this list, as it merges Super Mario Bros. With Tetris. At first glance, this game doesn't seem like anything in particular, just another normal Mario platformer with a stupidly large resolution. But then Mario encounters a wall too steep to climb up. And this is when the game introduces its main gimmick. You must switch between the two game modes of this game by pressing the spacebar. In the normal mode, Mario is just casually walking on the level, but in the other mode, you must build the level by playing Tetris. Yeah, Tetris in Mario. This might sound a bit overpowered, but the twist is that the game is constantly auto-scrolling and Mario can't move in the Tetris mode. So you can't just slack around. And the end is just as tense. You think that you've completed the level, but the castle is gone, so you must rebuild it from scratch. And at the same time you're under a strict time limit and Goombas are constantly falling down from pipes. So you need to not only build the level in the limited time span, but you also must make sure you don't get killed on the go. You don't need to fill the entire castle, but it will earn more points. This game is just so original, so why is it only at number 8? Well, that's because it's also the most wasted potential for a Mario Flash game, as it's just one single level. Had it been at least maybe 4 more levels or 8, it would have felt more complete, but as it stands now, it's kind of lackluster. Had the game had more content packed to it, it could have easily made my top 5. Super Mario Star Scramble is one of the few Mario Flash games that has its own franchise, consisting of a trilogy of games. In these games, Mario must collect a certain number of shines in order to traverse to the next level, pretty self-explanatory. The first game is a bit primitive, but it's quality. The second entry is definitely better, and the third entry changed the aesthetics too much. But the point is, it's a consistent trilogy and I like all games. I can say that it's definitely one of the few Mario Flash games where the developers really cared about making a good game. And that's ironic because none of these games make it to the list. In 5th place we have Super Mario Star Scramble 2 Ghost Island, a Halloween-themed version of the second entry. Although it's not really 2 because the levels are completely brand new. The reason this is one of my favorites is because of the spooky aesthetic, which makes it stand out more than the rest. The levels have a very grim vibe to them, with a graveyard in the background, and the air is bluish, and there are boos everywhere. And despite the fact that the song that plays during the levels is a little bit too happy, it strangely fits and I don't know why. And the boss is pretty cool too, I guess. Overall, Mario Star Scramble 2 Ghost Island is a very solid game, and I think most of us can agree. Now we're getting to the really good stuff, starting with Mario Forever Flash. Just from the title of the game, it's obvious that this game is directly inspired by Mario Forever, one of the best Mario fan games of all time. With the only difference being that Forever Flash is half as long and uses more aesthetics from Super Mario All-Stars. And while Mario Forever is amazing, it's not a Flash game, so I can't have it on this list. But Mario Forever Flash is almost as good. You follow Mario through 4 difficult worlds in a very basic platformer that takes direct inspiration from Super Mario Bros. On the SNES. Aesthetics and music are directly ripped off it, and I like that because Super Mario Bros. On the SNES has my favorite art style in all of 2D Mario. And for a Flash game, the controls are surprisingly fluid. You always feel like you're in control, and that's important because this game is stupidly hard. I don't just mean it requires skill. In the second half of the game, you'll pray that you don't lose a life, as the platforming is some of the most difficult in all of Mario. Like, it's stupid luck whether or not these Koopas are in the right spots. But this game is also hard because of the lack of power-ups. Some levels have no power-up boxes, some have just one. Only in the beginning are there at least 2 question blocks per level. I actually have found World 2 to be the most consistently good world, as it's more interesting than the first one and more forgiving than 3 and 4. Luckily, as I said, the controls make it bearable, and the game ends on a good note, with a relatively easy final level and satisfying final boss. Overall, Mario Forever Flash, not bad. Could have been better, but it's one of the best Mario Flash games for sure. A Koopa's Revenge is a unique twist on the 2D Mario platformers. Instead of controlling Mario on the way to defeat Bowser to rescue Peach, you're playing as a lone Koopa Troopa on the way to rescue his Goomba friends, who have been kidnapped by Mario and company. And as a result, Koopa must track them down to Mario's castle, starting his journey in Bowser's castle. This reversal works quite well actually. Your enemies include Toads and Yoshis primarily, but you can also defeat every one of the baby characters. Baby Mario, Luigi, Wario and Waluigi for an extra life per level. Yes, Wario and Waluigi are in this game. They are actually siding with Mario and company in this game, serving as bosses. Wario being the first one in particular, followed by Peach, Waluigi, Luigi and Robo Mario. All bosses are pretty good and well designed, and so are all the levels. Each of the 5 worlds have 3 levels, and they all have a reasonable difficulty, with my personal favorite being Sky Mountain thanks to the song. Those are the good bits. There are unfortunately a few glaring issues that prevent this game from being any higher. For one, the general personality of the game. Destroying an enemy generates blood for no reason, and the art style itself has a very primitive feel to it. Like there's not a lot of detail, like something you draw in paint. Another issue I have is that it doesn't really utilize this reversal concept very much. Koopa plays just like Mario, the enemies die in one hit, and for some reason the Twomps are siding with Mario. But I digress, it's still a fun game. It could have been better, but I'm actually glad it isn't, and you'll understand why. Ah yes, Super Mario Flash. The original Mario Flash. For most of us, this was the first Mario game we ever played, at least for me. I still remember being a kid and randomly stumbling up on this game, not knowing anything about Mario and instantly falling in love with it. From the art style, to the gameplay, to the level editor. Yes, a level editor in the Mario Flash game. The main game of Super Mario Flash is good enough. You play as Mario or Luigi as you traverse across an island to beat 10 levels, and it's really fun. Similarly to Mario Forever Flash, the art style is based around the SNES port of Super Mario Bros. In the levels, but there's also a map which borrows from Super Mario Bros. Free SNES. Overall, this game is good, but it couldn't on its own have brought Super Mario Flash at 4th place had it not been for the level editor. Super Mario Flash was the original Mario Maker, and it was seriously ahead of its time. It let you not only create levels, but there was so much customization. You could pick a theme for the main level, a theme for the bonus level, a song, and whatever tileset you wished for. Nearly all of this was stripped away in a game that we do not speak of. Imagine a free game that offers more than an official one. That's Super Mario Flash to you. You could have a snowy night level that played the boss music. Super Mario Flash is without a doubt one of the best Mario Flash games. But we haven't gotten in the top 3 yet. Let's see what those games are. In 3rd place we have the successor to Super Mario Flash, titled Super Mario Flash 2. This game is basically in every way an improvement over this original Super Mario Flash, both in terms of the game itself, but also in terms of the level editor. The original Mario Flash was basically taking Super Mario Bros. And putting it on the internet with layers of the 3D game. Super Mario Flash 2 on the other hand borrows from Super Mario World, both in art style and map design. Granted, I prefer SNES Super Mario Bros. Art style, but it's hard to deny the improvements of this game. Now there's P-switches, more level variety, more difficulty, just to name a few. Now one problem I have with Mario Flash 2 is that the difficulty can be unforgiving. Most of the levels are pretty easy and pay respect to the original game, but bits of it are just poor game design. Level 3 for example has a painful gap in which you have to use a trampoline to get over, but actually bouncing off it requires way too precise timing. And the entirety of level 9 can just go and screw itself. But overall this game is fun, but what's more fun is the improved level editor. It retains all features of the original level editor but adds so much more. You can make vertical levels, add layers, add multiple choices of winning the level, make different versions of an enemy, custom music, make objects move, auto-scrolling, and so much more. To think that Super Mario Maker, a game that came out 5 years later, only has a fraction of what a free game has, is quite embarrassing. Without a doubt, Super Mario Flash 2 is amazing. Koopa's Revenge 2, similar to Super Mario Flash 2, takes what worked in the original game and improves on it so much. But while Super Mario Flash 2 is still pretty equal to the first game in quality, Koopa's Revenge 2 goes all out. The first game was good, sure, but nothing to sweat over. But this game could pass off as an official game and no one would bat an eye, it's that good. Heck, I'd say it's better than half of what Nintendo pumps out regularly. This game follows directly on the original game with our Koopa having rescued his Goomba friends, only now it's revealed that Mario has kidnapped Bowser and he must rescue him. This game is simply spectacular and I'm surprised it's a Flash game. It improves so much. For one, Koopa can now slide on the ground if he's running, similar to Mario in the Koopa Shell in New Super Mario Bros. DS. Not only that, but you can also place Goomba and Shy Guy, both having this ability as well. It's one of my all-time favorite gimmicks, just speeding through levels like a god. This game is the ultimate Super Mario World of the Flash series, in every way. All the worlds are connected to each other, similar to Dinosaur Island in Mario World. And nearly every level has one secret exit, allowing you to explore other edges of the world, like hitting P-switches or finding shortcuts. But this game also does so much more. The levels are again amazing. The sheer amount of variety in levels are astounding. 1 minute you're casually strolling on a night plane, another time you're exploring a pyramid or a toy factory, and then you're inside of the corpse of a whale. Oh, and another thing, day and night. Every time you play a level, it switches between day and night, so every level has its own day and night theme. I have nothing bad to say about this game at all. I guess one disappointing fact about the game is with the lack of a level editor, but come on, let's not get spoiled. What we have is one of the most official Flash games of all time, and it's not number 1 even.
Here I come!
This game needs no introduction. If Koopa's Revenge 2 was the Super Mario World of the Mario Flash franchise, then Super Mario 63 is the Super Mario 64 of the Mario Flash franchise. Koopa's Revenge 2, a game I've had nothing but great things to say about, pales even in comparison to Super Mario 63. It's one of the best games of all time, and you wouldn't think a game with as much content as Super Mario 63 isn't just fan-made, but completely free. In a nutshell, it's basically a Super Mario 64, but in 2D and so much better. A lot of this game is directly based off that masterpiece. I don't think I need to explain how, it's obvious, from the levels, to the hub world, etc. But the fact that we have a 2D Mario game that isn't strictly linear is something I thought I never would have dreamed of. And somehow it works perfectly. The levels are mostly based on Super Mario 64, but in 2D, so the levels are large, with shine sprites sprattled throughout a large map. And there are 64 shine sprites in total, so this isn't a game you just play 10 minutes and you're done. It's a long game. And this game also adds FLUDD from Super Mario Sunshine, you know, the little thing that lets you hover, speed boost and fly. All 3 FLUDD nozzles make it to Super Mario 63, and it works even better in this game as you can swiftly switch between the nozzles just by using the shift key. The gameplay is simply just spectacular, and even the story is kind of unique, as Bowser plans to basically kill all life by summoning a meteor. But wait, I'm not even done, there's even a level editor in this game! Like, they had not only time to flesh out this game to its fullest potential, but even a level editor? There is not a single problem with this game at all. Well, actually there is one, but it doesn't really matter. Super Mario 63 is and will always be one of my favorite video games of all time, Flash or not. So, there you have it, my favorite Super Mario Flash games. But what is your favorite Super Mario Flash game on this list? If you liked the video, then please subscribe, like and share this video, because I mean, why not? Stay tuned for my next video. With that being said, I'm signing off.